Children, in this session we are going to learn about
the best Christmas present in the world. The story is about a beautiful incident that took place during the First World War.
He is the narrator of this prose, Michael Marforgo. These are the characters in this prose: Connie, Mrs. Jim Macpherson, and Mr. Macpherson. He is an army man. And third one is Tommy. Tommy is the name for the British soldiers, and Fritz is the name for the German soldier.
Now let's see the chapter. The author went to a junk shop in Bridport. He noticed a roll-top desk. It was very old and made of oak. It was in a bad condition. It had burn marks down one side. Since it was cheap, the author decided to buy it and get it repaired. He began working on it on Christmas Eve. He removed the roll top and tried hard to pull out the drawer. It had suffered much damage due to fire and water. The drawer was jammed. He hit it hard with his fist and pulled it out. He found a secret drawer underneath. He took out a small black tin box. He finds a letter inside the tin box written by Jim Macpherson. He found an envelope with the address Mrs. Jim Macpherson, 12 Copper Beaches, Bridport, Dorset. The letter was dated December 26, 1914. The author began to read the letter. It was written by Jim Macpherson, a captain of the English Army, to his wife Connie. Jim Macpherson, a captain of the English Army, to his wife Connie. It was a narration of an incident that took place on the battlefield in 1914 on Christmas Day. Jim Macpherson was a soldier set against the Germans during the First World War. Jim Macpherson had narrated a beautiful incident that took place on the battlefield on Christmas Day. It was Christmas Day and the English and Germans were at war. Jim wrote to her that he was very happy because something wonderful had happened. The soldiers on both sides of the no man's land were taking up positions in their trenches. It was Christmas morning, cold and frosty. Jim saw the German soldiers waving a white flag. They were calling out the English soldiers to say Happy Christmas. It was a big surprise to be greeted like friends by the enemies, but it was true, not a trick. The English soldiers also wished them in return. The leader said that they wanted to celebrate the festival. Jim was the officer in command. He allowed his men to join the Germans. Grey coats and khaki coats mingled in the middle. In the time of war, they were making peace. The German soldier who came first was named Hans Ulf. Before joining the army, he used to play the cello in an orchestra. Jim had been a school teacher in Dorset, but Hans lied that he knew Dorset well. In fact, he had read about the place in Hardy's novel, Far from the Madding Crowd. The soldiers from the rival campus smoked, laughed, drank, and feasted. Hans said that he liked the marzipan, the sweet covering on Jim's bread. Jim wrote in the letter that he had never seen or imagined a Christmas party like that. They played football also. Both agreed on one time. The countries should have better resolved their disputes by playing a football or cricket match, because no one dies in a match, whereas war leaves behind orphans and widows. The game was finished, so did the drinks and cakes. Jim told Hans that they hoped to see families as soon as the fighting ended by Christmas next year. After reading the letter, the author decided to return the letter to Mrs. Macpherson. He went to her house in Bridport, Dorset, and found that it was burnt. Connie was now 101 years old, was inside the house at the time of the fire. The author comes to know that Mrs. Macpherson is in the nursing home. He finds her sitting on a chair there. When he called her Connie and written the letter to her, her eyes lit up. The author wished her happy Christmas and gave the letter to her. She recognized the writing of her husband and felt very happy. She mistook the author for Jim, who had come home as promised on Christmas. She kissed the author on the cheek and asked him to read the letter to her. She wanted to listen the voice of her husband. She said that Jim himself was the best Christmas present in the world. Let us see the summary of the prose, The Best Christmas Present in the World. The Best Christmas Present in the World is a story by Michael Marpergo. In the story, the author buys a roll-top table from a junk shop and to restore it, starts working on it on Christmas Eve. While repairing it, he finds a secret space in the last drawer. In that secret space was a small tin box. He finds a letter inside the tin box written by Jim Macpherson, a captain of the English army, to his wife Connie. It was a narration of an incident that took place on the battlefield in 1914 on Christmas Day. On that day, the German and English soldiers were celebrating Christmas together, forgetting the rivalry between them and also that they were at war. They shared wine and food. Also, they played a football match and sang carols at night. The author took this letter to Mrs. Macpherson to the hospital and gave her the best Christmas present in the world. Children, what did you learn from the story? See that the story states that war brings only destruction and sadness in the world. Only the path of peace will lead us to the happiness and welfare of mankind. Fighting one another is not the right thing. So, to lead a good life and peaceful life, don't fight with anybody else. That's all about the story. I hope you would understand this prose. If you have any doubt, ask me. Let us see the new words in this chapter. The first one is veneer. Veneer means a thin decorative covering of plastic. And second one is Tommy. Tommy means a name for a British or English soldiers. Third one is Fritz, a name for a German soldiers. The next one is Schnapps. Schnapps means a kind of strong alcohol. The next one is cello. Cello means a four-string, the musical instrument, for example, violin. The next one is frosty. Frosty means cold or chilly. That's all about this chapter, children. If you like this video, subscribe this channel for the upcoming videos. And if you have any doubts, you can leave a comment in the comment box. Thank you. Bye-bye.